Alright, let's get this started. Fortunately, I've only had this game for a few years, so no childhood nostalgia to affect my judgment. Back to a familiar console, we got DT Racer for the PS2. Why? Why do I play these generic racing games? And this one's strange. I feel like I usually just call everything interesting because I lack the expansive vocabulary and I'm a poor writer, so I guess this time I'll just go with strange. So it uses fictional cars, but it's so obvious that these cars are just rip-offs of actual cars. Yeah, I mean, other games' fictional cars kind of look like other cars, and you can make the case that certain cars kind of look like other cars, but this one is just a rip-off. Let's see here, you got your Skyline R32 GTR, you got some Vipers, you got some Lambos, but no official trademark logos. I don't even know how this is legal. How is this legal? How can you not make your own cars? This is just insanity. So there's a couple different modes you can choose from, and of course you gotta pick the Grand Prix for a long type of game mode. And of course you can choose your copyright infringement car that you want to buy with your $10,000, so choose wisely. But before you start your first race, you have to select the tires and fill up the gas tank. Excuse me? Yeah, you have to pay to put gas in your car and put new tires on it. I mean, I guess I have to respect the realism, but I spent a lot of money on the car, like I didn't budget for gas. Yeah, the first time I picked a fairly expensive car so I'd have an advantage on the actual racing, but now I'm at a disadvantage because I don't have enough money to pay for gas and repairs, and I actually lost. I couldn't fix my car, I couldn't get any further. So with that information in my back pocket, I started a new Grand Prix mode while buying the cheapest car I could find so I could have money for gas. So how'd that pan out? Well, the cheapest car is basically just a Toyota MR2, and it was just as fast as the knockoff Skyline R32 I had before, so was the more expensive car really faster or what? Did it mean anything when I went for the more expensive one? This cash mechanic is just so confusing to me. But besides buying stuff, the racing itself is pretty average. I mean, your car seems to be a little skittish. Everything is fine and dandy on the straightaways, but when turning, if you're turning for too long, then your car just skids and drifts out of control, and it's really hard to get back under control. What further makes this harder is that when you hit the walls, they seem to be really sticky. Like when I hit the wall, it should slow you down, but not turn my car. If I hit it hard enough, it turns, and then I overcompensate, and then I start spinning the other way, and then I hit the other wall. There was a couple times where I just went wall to wall, hitting the wall. I couldn't fix it. My only other major gripe about the game is that the AI drivers have a really strong wrecking AI. I understand that's what other human players would do, but these guys are out for blood. I mean, I was racing through my second playthrough of the game, and this knockoff Honda NSX was pushing me toward the pit wall, so naturally, I was trying not to hit the wall, I was trying to fight back. So then I end up hitting the wall, being catapulted up into the air, which caused major damage to my car, and then I had to retire from the race because I landed on my roof, so I couldn't even try to earn more money in that race to pay for some of the repairs I had. It was just very frustrating, and it was like a movie. So I played through it once, failed, started again, didn't win the cup, but I survived with enough cash to fix my car and try it again. And you know what? I actually started to see some positives in this game. While the racing is hard and it doesn't really perform the greatest, I do appreciate the difficulty level. It's not blisteringly hard, but after I got used to the game, it was fun to battle against the other drivers instead of just blowing through the races like so many other games. And I can also appreciate the aesthetic that the game has going on. It has decent graphics for the time, but the night shots of the city in the third race and the other panning shots before the races, just so appealing, and I can commend the game for at least doing that. I wouldn't say this game's bad, but it's certainly a game you need to research before playing, because if you didn't know about buying gas and repairs, I could see someone giving up on the game. Heck, I almost gave up on it, but I pushed through, and it at least raised itself a little bit in my book. Welp, we finally did it. Enough racing games to have a separate racing game ranking system. So we got F-Zero and Burnout Revenge as legitimate all-time racers. Driver San Francisco, Ridge Racer 4, and Destruction Derby are good games with great elements, but we also got two of the worst games ever reviewed on here. So DT Racer lands on the fourth worst. It's average, but with all the good races I've gone through, it seems fair. Well, that's DT Racer. Not much else to say. Hope you enjoyed watching. Thanks for watching. Coming with a new review soon. See you then.